The Washington Wizards are in a weird spot. It's a spot us NBA fans like to refer to as no man's land, a place where a team isn't good enough to win a championship or go on a deep playoff run, nor a place where the team is bad enough that they'll get a good lottery pick. Unfortunately for the Wizards, that's where they sit, and it seems it will continue to remain that way into the 2022 NBA season, as the Wizards have reportedly no interest in trading their star Bradley Beal, and it seems Bradley Beal has no interest in leaving either. However, let's throw that out of the window for a moment. I know I made a video quite literally the other day on why I believe the Wizards are still a playoff caliber side heading into next season, but that still doesn't mean I don't think they should blow things up when given an opportunity to. And I especially think when you have the opportunity to start afresh with an amazing young talent like the Wizards have potential to get now in Ben Simmons, blowing it up and going all in on a rebuild would be the perfect idea. So, for that reason, I'm proposing in today's video that the Washington Wizards trade for Ben Simmons this offseason, and I'll explain in more depth why I believe that's the case in today's video. Before we start, if you're new here and enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe for more NBA content like this. I'm trying to reach 18,000 subscribers by September, so all support would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, with that being said, let's take a look at this potential blockbuster NBA trade. Briefly, let's go over the details of what this trade may look like. As you can see by the title, this trade would almost be a one-for-one swap, as Ben Simmons' contract and Bradley Beal's contract match up pretty well. The 76ers probably throw in a first-round pick or two, and something along those lines should get the deal done. But why would either side want to make this trade? Let's discuss the Wizards' sides of things first. As I mentioned in the intro, the Wizards are stuck in no man's land right now. There's not a chance they can compete for a title with Beal at the helm, but they can definitely squeeze into the playoffs. So it's not like they're terrible, but they're not great either. As much as Beal wants to stay, and as much as it seems the Wizards want to hold on to him, I just think that's a dumb way to go about things. Beal is clearly wasting his prime in Washington, and would be much more suited to go somewhere else where he can use his brilliant talents to compete for a title. That place to me is Philadelphia, and the Wizards can still benefit from moving him too. In return, the Wizards are getting Ben Simmons, who, regardless of all the takes made about him recently due to his poor playoff performances, is still an amazing young player with a ton of potential that almost any rebuilding team would want. Simmons is one of the top defenders in the league, if not the best defender in the league, as his size, athleticism, and instincts allow him to defend guys 1 through 5. Simmons is also an amazing playmaker who can run the floor in transition, as well as get the offense flowing in a set. He's basically a point guard with the extra height that makes him a mismatch constantly for oppositions, and that should excite the Wizards because of the pieces they can place around him. Obviously, one big concern with Ben Simmons' game is his shooting, so for his play to be optimized, placing shooters around him would be key. Luckily for the Wizards right now, they have some solid shooting talents on the team, such as Davis Bertans, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and recent draftee Corey Kispert, who just shot 44% from 3 in his last college season. The bigs on the team are good shooters too. Thomas Bryant has shot over 40% from deep in his past 2 seasons, and he did that on 2 attempts per game. So there are promising signs that the Wizards would be able to provide the spacing around Simmons that he needs. As I mentioned in my last video, the rest of the Wizards squad outside of Beal, or now in this case Simmons, is actually really solid. I don't think this team would be good enough for a playoff spot, but it's definitely a side with room to move and bright spots for the future. There are guys like Kyle Kuzma, who could be poised for a breakout year. Young pieces like Rui Hachimura and Deni Avdija, who have potential to be very solid pieces moving forward if they can be utilized correctly. And Spencer Dinwiddie, who's looking to bounce back after his injury and could be a 20 points per game weapon for them. Place that around Ben Simmons and you've got yourself a nice squad. the team would obviously not be great and probably land a high draft pick next season too. So just like that, you're now looking at a team with a top draft pick, Ben Simmons, Kyle Kuzma, Rui Hachimura, Thomas Bryant, and more to build towards the future with. Now obviously that's largely hypothetical. Maybe the Wizards are still a mediocre team with Simmons at the helm, or maybe they don't get that top pick. But either way, this move should be beneficial for the Wizards either way because it gives them plenty of direction. Simmons can be a top 10 to 20 player in the league. He has that kind of potential, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to display that on Philadelphia. Giving him the opportunity to start afresh could be beneficial for both him and Washington, and it's why I think this deal is a no-brainer for the Wizards. It allows them to hit rebuild and build around one of the best young players in the league. Whether you like it or not, Simmons is up there. Getting a defensive player of the year type talent who is still so young and with so much room to grow is not an opportunity you pass up often, especially when you're a team stuck in no man's land like the Wizards are. It's a great idea in my opinion for the Wizards, and one I truly believe they should consider making. However, with that said, this trade isn't just beneficial to Washington, it's also a good one for the Philadelphia 76ers, so let's discuss their end of the trade now. According to reports, the 76ers have been asking for a lot for Ben Simmons, and it's why trade talks around him have seemingly stalled, as of when writing the script. They want a young player, multiple first-round picks, and pick swaps, a deal like the Rockets tried to make when moving James Harden. But personally, that just doesn't make a lot of sense in the Ben Simmons scenario. This is a team trying to win a championship, a team with one of the most dominant big men of all time. If he's not injured last season, Embiid could have won the MVP. That's how good he was playing. Getting in return a young star and draft picks just doesn't seem like the right package for a team trying to win now. That seems more favorable for a potentially rebuilding team. This is why I like the idea of a swap for Beal a whole lot more. Beal is at the pinnacle of his career right now, coming off a season where he averaged over 31 points per game. Adding his caliber of talent next to Joel Embiid is plain scary. The fit of Embiid over Simmons is so much better in my opinion. Though there is a significant loss in perimeter defense, there's also a significant improvement in offensive play. Beal's scoring creation is one of the best in the league, and to put it simply, makes the Sixers offense far more versatile. The duo of Beal and Embiid would be extremely dynamic, and in my eyes, has a lot higher of a ceiling than the Simmons-Embiid duo did. Again, the 76ers are trying to win now, not in a couple of years. So trading away a guy who clearly doesn't work for a player who clearly would fit the system better and would elevate this team to at least a conference finals appearance is again a no-brainer. To me, it's common sense why this deal would work for Philadelphia, and would really just be their health that would be the thing to hold them back. Overall, this trade just makes too much sense to me. Beal is in a bad situation where he is wasting his prime, so whether he would prefer to remain in Washington or not, his career trajectory would be far more suited in Philadelphia, where he can have a legitimate chance at winning a ring. For Ben Simmons, he gets a fresh start on the Wizards where he can be built around as the main piece. Maybe a new destination is all he needs to see improvements in his game, and if it's not, the Wizards are landing an all-star, a defensive player of the year candidate, and one of the better playmakers in the league to start their rebuild at minimum. That is pretty damn good. At the end of the day, this trade is probably unlikely to happen, and I get that. But sometimes hypotheticals are fun to think about and speculate. Who really knows how this situation will pan out, but to me, at least on paper, I think this would be a huge win-win trade for both franchises. So I highly suggest it is one they consider if someone from their front office is for some reason watching this video. It's a trade package that I like a lot, and maybe, just maybe, we'll see it go through soon, so we can finally see the Wizards hit reset, and the 76ers bounce back from a disappointing playoff exit with now a legit shot at winning the NBA championship in 2022. And that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? What are your thoughts on this potential trade? Who would win the deal to you? the 76ers, or the Wizards? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.